just so annoying that this thing shuts off on me all the time. So we were going to talk about Snopes, right? I thought this was interesting. Michelson originally adopted the username Snopes, the name of a family often unpleasant people in the works of William Faulkner. Yeah, they are unpleasant. They don't want you thinking outside of the box, right? I think Snopes is the guy that like divorced his wife and married a prostitute, and now she works with him. Proper Media is the people who were brokering an agreement with them. Mickelson runs the website out of his home in Tacoma. This site has been referred to by news media and other sites, CNN, MSNBC, Fortune, Forbes, and the New York Times. So these guys are supposedly reporters and supposed to be doing research. But they're paying this guy, and depending upon this guy who lives in his house somewhere, to debunk and do their research for them. Here's another prong of the matrix here. Factcheck.org, a project of the Annenberg Public Policy Center. All of these things are government, right? They're these government-private partnerships. Look at all the things that are involved here, right? Coronavirus coverage, side check, Facebook initiative, 2020 Players Guide, Swing State Watch, Viral Spiral, don't get spun by internet rumors. Yeah, only believe what we tell you, right? Health Watch, Flack Check. I just think this is interesting. So this website here, you can find just about anything on here. They will talk about anything and try to debunk anyone's alternative thoughts about it. This is about the vaccine, triggering an immune response against the spike protein of the SARS-CoV-2 virus that they have not isolated. So what are they really doing? The vaccine is made of modified messenger RNA or mRNA wrapped in a special blend of fatty molecules known as lipid nanoparticles. The mRNA provides instructions for cells to make their own spike proteins, prompting the body to generate protective antibodies and activate T cells. The lipids help deliver the RNA into cells and prevent it from being degraded too quickly. And then they promise you that it does not interact with your person's DNA. Okay. Sure. They can't promise you this. And they can't promise you that it doesn't affect you epigenetically either. Phase 2-3 file began late July, enrolling 44,000 people in the USA, Argentina, Brazil, Germany, South Africa, and Turkey. I want to find in here where it says that this 95% thing, they came up with it using like 162 people. Pfizer announced in November 18th press release that its vaccine was 95% effective in preventing COVID-19 disease in adults without prior evidence of infection, as measured 7 or more days after the second dose. So you didn't have an infection in the first place, and you had a 99.9% chance to survive COVID-19. But they give you a injection that makes it it ups your chances by like 4.9% to get a disease, right? The trial only looked at whether the vaccine prevented symptomatic disease, not whether the vaccine prevented people from becoming infected or whether the vaccine kept people from transmitting the virus. Yeah, because you become a shedder if they put a virus in you. Additional data from the ongoing trial and other studies may help to answer these questions as well as how long a vaccinated person is protected, which is unknown. Unbelievable. The 95% efficacy does not mean that 95% of people are protected by the vaccine. Instead, the math is a bit more complicated and is relative risk reduction calculation based on 162 cases of COVID 19 occurring in the placebo group and 8 in the vaccine group. This is what they're basing their 95% efficacy rate on. A relative risk reduction calculation based on 162 cases of COVID 19 occurring in the placebo group and 8 in the vaccine group. This is just unbelievable what we're dealing with. No serious safety concerns were reported in the trials. Anyone getting the vaccine, however, should be prepared for unpleasant side effects, including pain, redness, and swelling at the site of injection, as well as fatigue, headache, chills, and fever. So I'm not sick, but I'm going to go to you so I can become sick. And then you're going to tell me it was a 95% okay, effective. Among non-serious adverse events, the FDA noted that there were 4 cases of Bell's palsy, a form of temporary facial paralysis. I'm here to tell you that having your face temporarily paralyzed or permanently paralyzed is not fun. I would know. I have an injury to my face for many years, and it's like having a toothache that never goes away. Unbelievable. A limited number of serious allergic reactions to anaphylaxis have been reported in the US and the UK since the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine began to be administered. Anaphylaxis refers to a life-threatening reaction that usually occurs within seconds or minutes of exposure to an allergen. Many, but not all of these people have a history of past severe allergic reactions. See, if you've had a serious allergic reaction to a previous dose, you shouldn't have one. But they want to lock you down where you can't even go anywhere. The extreme cold is necessary to keep the highly sensitive liquid encapsulated RNA molecules from degrading. Well, what does it do inside your body? This is crazy. So crazy. I wanted to show you another thing. So I got an email from Trump today, and I don't know why, because I don't vote. I don't give. This is all bullshit. Lorna, did the Secretary of State break the law? Did voting machines change votes from Trump to Biden? Every day, we are finding more and more voting irregularities. It's ridiculous. This is not what America is about. Do you think this was a fair and honest election? No, I don't think any elections are fair and honest, ever. Call on my most feared and loyal defenders to give me money. Give me. I am supposed to give this guy who's like a multi-millionaire, possibly a billionaire. I'm supposed to give him some money. It's amazing. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk really quickly about is the actor-based reality, and this is Above is Below too, and she has a great channel.
It's not real. It's fiction.
Here they're showing you how they play many different roles in this world.
When did people start to die? I mean, who started to die first? How did it go? Jim Jones said, must do the babies first. Take care of the babies first. So at that time, we're having nurses and going out, picking up babies out of mother's arms. And some of the mothers themselves were coming up with their babies. They were forced to take the potion.
Eddie Murphy. Just the man I met in the restroom. Arsenio Hall. Wanna tear you apart. And your friend too. Wait a minute, wait, stop right there. Listen, stop right there a minute. Man goes into a restaurant. You listening? A man goes into a restaurant, he sits down, he's having a bowl of soup. He says to the waiter, come taste the soup. Waiter says, is something wrong with the soup? He says, taste the soup. Coming to America. Eddie Murphy is the Clumps. Jesus, that's you. Nutty Professor 2. To put his family back together, Daniel Hillard needed a job.
Do you have any special skills?
I do voices.
Yeah. Nancy and I are still looking for the other half of my head.
Look at me right now, Moneypenny. Want to undo that bow and get to know you.
Mr. Hillard, do you consider yourself humorous?
Could you make me a woman?
To have both.
Wow, that's pretty.
No. Euphigenia Doubtfire.
Surprise!
This is Doubtfire.
Myself to introduce myself.
Mike Myers. Mike Myers. Mike Myers
Surprise!
in the biggest Austin Powers adventure yet.
They're two FBI agents and masters of disguise.
FBI, you're under arrest. Biggest bust of our career. 400 keys of pure vanilla ice cream. One more screw up and you guys are fired.
And now
Heiresses to the Wilson fortune.
they have one last chance
All you gotta do is pick them up and drop them off.
to save their jobs.
One more screw up and me and you are through.
But the only way to protect these sisters is to become them.
Make them bigger. You sure this is gonna work? Just trust me. Hey, what's up, money? You got a problem?
Comes the story of two guys
You're wearing the wrong underwear.
who are giving Undercover the ultimate makeover.
He's on my gun and badge. Go. Jeez, lady, all that for a bag? It's Prada. Mama. How long we gotta do this, man? A couple more days. I don't have a couple more days. Hey, yo, you do that again, I'm gonna bust. I'm gonna bust out in tears.
Sean Wayans, Marlon Wayans, White Chicks.
Anyways, I think you guys get the idea. I was actually watching a interview with the CIA prosthetics director, and she was saying that it's easier to make women into something, and that's true because, like, you can always tell that this is a dude, no matter whatever they put on this one. I'll leave the links for these in the below so you guys can watch if you want. And there's another one. This is an interesting from Blue Heron. Lori, she's talking about these people being androids, trandroids, or humandroids, I guess you might want to call them. So she thinks that perhaps that they are some sort of biological machine, right? Like kind of metal underneath and living tissue, and that their eyes are cameras. Thought it was she's done a lot of videos on it. It's very interesting.
I really paused in the middle of this and said a prayer. I was like, to the Most High Truth, if this is right, please guide me, give me confirmation. And it just kept coming. So I'm going to put it out there because I do believe that this is some sort of ancient voodoo AI. And my friend, Robert, thank you, he sent me some information. And coined the word trandroid. I think that's perfect. Trandroid. These are trandroids because it seems like they're in the female bodies, and I was wondering why. I was like, why do they put them in the opposite bodies? But they have their purposes for each and every one. And
I think the opposite body point is a female body, for instance, has a lower center of gravity. So any sport that requires that would give you a leg up by having a lower center of gravity, it's going to be more beneficial for them to be female, right? Because of the way a female pelvis is. So if you don't need as much upper body strength, right, and you need more lower body strength and you need a more stable base, you would use a female skeleton. And I think that's why you're seeing this. I also think that you can see it in certain things like ballet. The center of gravity of the male is low. Why? Because they're lifting up this other person, right? So you want a lower center of gravity. Same thing with ice skaters. You look at the female ones, the supposedly female ones, they're the ones who have the hard time landing the jumps versus the males. The males are just females on testosterone. And another thing with these bodybuilders, it's more impressive because women have shorter levers, right? You have shorter levers, so when you have a bunch of muscles stacked up on a smaller lever, it looks bigger, right? So like a woman on testosterone, like these people are, they end up being so bulky because it's a smaller lever. There's less space for that muscle to be in.
Maybe it's because the female body has more fat that you can blow up. You know, under the skin, the skin is more stretchy and more fatty tissue. I don't know. It's just speculation here at this point. And females are they endure pain longer because they process.
I'll move forward a little bit here. She's going through the different ways this person looks.
Why is that? Shouldn't there be
See
a
this
layer
hip
of
bone
something
here
over
and that shoulder bone?
And what are these? They look like hockey puck sprockets to me too.
Yeah.
What is that?
And I don't know. Like, I'm not sure that this is true or not, but I was thinking about it last night. And I'll leave this link so you guys can watch it, what she has to say. I shouldn't talk over her. That's rude. But I think that maybe the reason, if they are biological machines, right? And if your bones are not human bone, what makes your blood? Maybe that's why they have the Red Cross all the time, right? Getting blood. Maybe it's not that they're drinking it. Maybe it's that they need it to fuel, right? Because they don't have, that's the other thing she was saying, that they don't age well. And that's true, right? Like you look at these celebrities and these politicians, I mean, they look like they're melting. And it could be that if she's right, they could be some sort, if they're a biological machine, they don't have something making their red blood cells. They don't have something making, they don't have the same organ system that we do. And so they're not going to get the same blood flow to their face because they don't even have anything to make blood for them. So that could be, that was just an idea I had last night. And I actually made a comment down here about that. And of course it was erased. My other account, Toscadona, I'm pretty much erased all the time. Even on like pop culture stuff, if I make a comment, they delete me. I'm always surprised when they keep my comments. And then, so I wanted to talk a little bit more about this actor world because it all, this guy over here, Quack Watch, if you look into these people, Snopes, Fact Check, it's all the same, right? This whole world is some sort of charade. Oh, and then down here, remember my point about the fear porn, right? 2020, the year so bad you forgot about murder hornets. We remember and covered it all. Support us. Join today. See what I mean? Constant fear porn, all Africanized bees, murder hornets. So, Alec Baldwin's wife, this creature, got caught lying about being a Spanish woman. For years, she's been lying, saying that she was born in Mallorca. Last week, a Twitter sleuth sketched out how Hilaria, right? They even troll us with their name. The influencer wife of actor and sometimes SNL star Alec Baldwin has perpetrated a decade-long grift where she impersonates a Spanish person. The user, who goes by the handle Lenny Briscoe, shared a number of damning videos of Hilaria from Good Morning America appearance where she employed a Spanish accent to a Today Show stop in which she supposedly could not remember the English word for cucumber. Further posts show Hilaria's mother discussing growing up in Longmeadow, Massachusetts, and numerous articles pointing out she spent virtually her entire career practicing medicine in Massachusetts, where she served as an associate physician at Massachusetts General Hospital and the assistant professor of medicine at Harvard Medical School until she retired from both positions in 2012. Think about it. We have actors in charge at the hospital, we have actors in charge at the medical school. This is so interesting. So at the high levels, that's what is there, obviously. So crazy. That's why it's so hard. Like my mom, who's a fantastic pianist, could never actually become like a she was an assistant professor, but she was never like the head professor. And the same thing with a friend of mine from West Point. Like an eminent psychiatrist in here in America, and she's only allowed to be she's only allowed to be assistant professor, even though she's a West Pointer. She's a black female, right? Like, but she is a real female. She's a real person, and she's not allowed to get up to the upper echelons in these big colleges. I think it's interesting. So here we go on with this story, right? So Hilaria's mother is someone from Harvard. And an obituary for Hilaria's grandfather on her father's side stated he was an American with roots in the country that predated the American Revolution, while a wedding announcement indicated that her grandfather's first wife and mother of their children hailed from Nebraska. Hilaria Baldwin's CAA speaker page claims she was born in Mallorca, Spain, as does her IMDb bio and Wikipedia page. She was on a podcast earlier this year. I moved here to America when I was 19 to go to NYU from my family lives in Spain. They live in Mallorca. Adding, I knew no pop culture. She has graced the cover of Hola magazine, a Spanish language publication based out of Madrid, where she was identified as a Spanish person in both the interview and its press release. Alec Baldwin has repeatedly referred to her as Spanish online, and she's made a number of appearances in Latina magazine, which she enthusiastically promoted. Spain is not part of Latin America, but and has referred to Spain as her home. If that weren't enough, her 5 young children with Baldwin all have Spanish names. It appears that Hilaria's real name is Hillary Hayward Thomas, according to her old MySpace page and those who claim to be her old classmates. She attended the private Cambridge School of Weston in Massachusetts, and in her senior yearbook is listed as Hillary Hayward Thomas. Look, actress. Actors on the world stage. A Nexus search disclosed that her New York voter registration is both under the names Hilaria L. Baldwin and Hillary Hayward Thomas. In light of the Twitter discourse, Hilaria took to Instagram to explain her side of the story. First thing I told my husband is that I was born in Boston. She said, I spent a lot of my childhood in Spain. My nuclear family lives in Spain and has lived there for a long time. And I came here. I was moving around a lot, but I came here when I was 19 years old to go to college. She continued, I've never said that my mother was Spanish. My family is a big mix of so many different things. I really don't understand why this is turning into such a big thing. I want to take it seriously, but I also don't want to be all of a sudden I'm apologizing for who I am, because at this point I'm starting to feel like I'm being attacked for who I am, and that no answer is the right answer. These people, these celebrities, they have a fake life, right? And everyone falls in love with these people based upon what they lie to you and say they are. And it's just so freaking bizarre. It's so bizarre what's going on here, right? That's why you shouldn't believe in any of these jokers. Not Biden, not Trump, none of these people, right? None of these people they don't love you, right? Like if you look at the Bear website here, this Quackwalk website, and we search Bear, we don't find any of the things that Bear has done wrong, do we? I even searched for like Vioxx, which is a arthritis medicine I was given many years ago when I was in the army, and I was written up for not taking because I took a one look at the molecule. It was new at the time, and I took one look at the molecule and knew that it was not a good thing. Not all sites. I want to search Quack Watch specifically. They don't tell you how about Bayer in 1985 was selling hemophiliac medicine that was tainted with HIV to children. Oh, look, they actually did admit something. How come Bayer isn't on there? Isn't on the list of bad guys? FDA CSPI has notified Bayer Health that it will sue the company if it continues to claim that selenium in its one-a-day vitamins may reduce men's risk of prostate cancer. Yeah, I don't know how you could prove that. I mean, we do know that you need your macro and micronutrients. But you can't prove it anyway. That's the thing. This whole science thing, right? First of all, you can't prove anything with science. You can only disprove. And these ads for all of these things, whether it's a multivitamin or anything like that, they can't prove anything. They can prove that they can hurt you one way or the other. Anyways, I just wanted to talk a little bit about this stuff, right? Like, this world is so crazy. Like, nothing is real above us. These people are not real.
He's directed some of the biggest blockbusters, Titanic.
Jaw? See that brow ridge? That's not a female.
Avatar. He probably has a camera eye too. I haven't looked. And here they are at the Trans Droid Awards. And he's got the same squinty, tiny eyes. This is from Terminator. And those who are squeamish, turn away now. So he takes a knife and does surgery on himself because he feels no pain. And there are flies gathering. I spared you the part where he cut out his own eyeball and threw it in the sink. But here you can see the camera, and it's infrared, and the flies are gathering. This is a theme.
Hey, Daddy in there or what?
So his processor in his head shows him the right answer, which is a fascinating thing. Same thing I showed when those two cyborgs were dating. You know, he had constant intel going in front, like a screen in front of him, what to say, what to think, what to do. This was the shot from Westworld that I showed in my previous video. This glitch, this android breaks down and starts, blinking one eye, and the flies start gathering.
And they do glitch out sometimes, right? Like, and we always assume that it's drugs. I don't know. I think it's a very interesting idea. I don't know. You guys have to tell me what you think, because I'm not sold. I don't know. I know for a fact that they don't have the right skeletons, and I know that they lie to us about everything. And I don't know, like, maybe some of them are droids, and maybe some of them are real humans. I have no idea. It's such an interesting place we were in.
Fly shots.
Oh yeah, I remember all the flies on him.
Now this next part is Jackie Chan on talk show, because Bruce Lee led me to Jackie Chan, who's also like, he works 24/7. He won't let people take a break. He works 24 hours. He goes like a machine.
I jumped in a moving hovercraft, but I hear very clear sound from my leg. Crack! I stand like this.
And that's bad when the foot is off to the side
But
like that. I know about medicine.
I cannot do this. I have to make sure the camera cut. The cameraman Jackie, your leg's okay. Don't worry about me. How's the shot? I got the shot. Okay, pat. I put it back.
What do you mean you put it back?
I just pat.
Us fools, we've been wasting all this time on orthoscopic surgery. All you have to do is go pack, and it goes back in.
No, I directly go to the
What are you made
hospital.
of Legos? What are you? Arm broken. Click. Ready to go.
Look, look, look.
So he says, yes, it's true. Just puts it back in, and he goes on and on with the story. I'll leave the link. And, you know, he gets a cast, and he basically uses a wheelchair to, do the running scenes because his leg is in a cast. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Just like that robo dancer that I showed in a recent video.
It's so weird, isn't it, y'all? So weird. And she goes through here and she's got some stuff about these reptiles. Oh yeah, she's showing here with Schwarzenegger. Like, what the
There's
hell
some
is
kind
this
of
in the
box
neck?
in here. This is not normal. There's some sort of mechanism in there.
Either that or it's like a mask or something. I don't know. It's freaking strange. Anyways, I'm gonna leave the links for these things. You can take a look. You can look at factcheck.org. Right, this is the Ministry of Truth. Well, why do they have to do so much work? It's so interesting. They put so much money and so much effort into creating this world for us. And my one friend that asked for this to talk about Quack Watch, he says, that they're not very powerful. And I kind of agree, right? Because they wouldn't have to do all this if they really were that powerful. But how they get powerful is by using us against each other, right? They use us, and they use fear and all of this charade thing they got going on. And we hurt ourselves for them. It's very, I don't know. I've been thinking a lot lately, trying to figure out what's going on. I do know one thing. I know it's all bullshit above us. I know that if it was real, they wouldn't. You don't have to do so much to defend the truth. And this all reminds me of, like the deletion of comments and everything. It reminds me of that book, 1984, where they vaporize you for thought crime, right? And you just disappear and nobody ever hears from you again. I don't know. I need to figure out. I probably need to do a video on how to get out of here and not come back. Because I don't know. I know I don't believe. I don't believe anything these people tell me unless I think it through and it makes sense to me. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good day. Bye.